It's the People's Podcast Show with Adrian Biddle, Melissa Bartlett, and your boy, Kerry Bigsby. It's your show, so tell us what you want to talk about. It's that The Round Table Podcast Show.
Oh, wow. Felt kind of odd. Been a minute. What's going on, y'all?
Hey, what's up, man?
All right. Welcome back, family, to the People's Podcast Show. It is at the round table, and I get to introduce these amazing people again. I feel funny though, because like I said, it's been a minute, and got a chance to holler at my sister, my bruh, outside of the show over the weekend and such, and it was it did my heart good. Let me put it that way, because the fellowship had, it's okay when you're going digital, but when you're face to face in person,
yeah.
Like somebody said, make your heart flutter. So I'm going ahead and introduce my sis from another Miss Pitbull herself. It is Melissa Bartlett. What's going on, girl?
Hey, family. What's going on? Round table peeps. My brothers, we had a weekend that was to celebrate for the family who was viewing us. My youngest daughter graduated from high school, so we did a little celebration cookout, and my family came from PA. Shout out to all the Pittsburgh crew, Maryland crew, New York crew. And my brothers stopped by to bless my daughter with a card and gifts, and it meant the world to me, because I got to see them in person. And, it's like, wow, like you really realize, like, I haven't really seen this person, in the flesh. So of course I gave him big hugs, and Kerry, you saw Adrian, he was like, oh, he did like this. I probably should have just gave him a pound, because he was like, oh.
Oh no. Come on now. It wasn't even like that. It wasn't even like that. Come on now.
No, it wasn't nothing but love. So yeah. I appreciate everything that you guys did. Appreciate everything, that you continue to do in supporting, the show and our families, because that's what it's about.
Absolutely.
Amen.
That's right. Amen.
And the man, the myth, the legend, right up there, he was holding it down while our brother was out and about and stuff. And it was, let me put it this way, it was magnanimously appreciated. Y'all thought I forgot about them big words, huh? Throw another one on you real quick.
I need to put that into my phone. Hold on.
Yes.
Put that in the phone. Yes. Go to Webster's and see what he's saying about it. But yeah, it was great to see my brother as well. He came by and checked on me. It was great to fellowship with him and stuff. But it's the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Adrian Biddle himself. A Money.
Hey, Money.
You know why we call him that?
Call him A Money because he can bring whatever, and he will bank on it. But we might need to change to the.
Yeah.
Y'all was silly. Y'all was silly. I certainly appreciate that intro. I'm trying to open up an eBay business, and I promise you, when that hits, I got y'all.
Oh, we're gonna be rolling in the money, damn.
That's
right
it.
There, boy.
That's it.
We're gonna be rolling in there, boy.
Yeah, but it was fun. It took a concerted effort on me and Melissa's part, and it was eye opening on the things that go behind the scenes, that happen behind the scenes. So yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Glad to have everybody back as a whole together today, though.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And got a chance to go back and check the show out and stuff too. And I'm gonna tell you something, the people were still alive and direct, and I love the engagement and everything. And it was kind of cool to see it on the opposite side and such. So I mean, that's why we call it the People's Podcast. The people make it happen. So thank y'all for checking in and being live and stuff. Oh man, here we go. See, it's already been started. Miss Drippin' Bling herself, Mahogany Tabiti.
Hey, Mahogany.
Good to see you, sis. Thank you for joining us on At the Round Table. Man. So, it was interesting because A Money came up with this topic. And I thought it was so, what's the word? I think it was so well put and appropriate, especially right about now. And I'll say that for personal reasons after we get into the topic. But hey, Money,
Yes, sir.
go ahead, drop it on.
Okay. The topic of the night's discussion is
Mm-hmm.
what were the things you disliked when staying under your parents' roof? What were the things that you disliked when staying under your parents' roof?
Wow. Mm. The stories, the stories, the stories.
Yeah, and this is like we noted in the description of the advertisement. It's all out of love. I mean,
Oh,
Of course.
yeah.
but I mean, if you got some other types of stories you want to share, hey, this is the forum to share them on.
That's right.
All right. So who's gonna be bold and stick their toe in the water right about now?
Well, my mom is deceased. However, that doesn't mean that she's not listening.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for girls, first of all, let's establish there are different variables that give you different experiences.
Okay.
People that were in one parent homes, whether it was staying with their dad only or their mom only, and
Hmm.
then growing up in two parent homes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as a child, I think that there is just certain things that children are going to experience if you have some type of parenting,
Mm-hmm.
that is trying to provide structure. There's just things that we can all agree on.
Yes.
But for me, being in a single parent home and being a young lady with my mom, I think what I didn't like was that transitional period of being recognized as no longer a little girl,
Hmm.
but an actual young lady. I
Okay.
think that was some of the probably most turbulence that me and my mother had while I was still under her roof.
Hmm.
That's a good one. That's some good insight.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely. Wow.
Hmm.
Okay. Oh, there go Heidi. She jumped in. She said, "My mom complained about how often I came and went. I was also paying her rent." LOL. Heidi, I feel you. For real. Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a very good one. That's a very
Yeah.
good one. So, okay. So I want to ask Heidi something, but I want to ask you too, Melissa, first. Um, what do you think caused that turbulence? You think?
The
Hmm.
feeling like I needed to assert and prove that I was
Mm.
grown,
Mm.
and
Okay.
the hard realization of letting go, loosen up the reins. I also was a person that contributed financially to our household. Not
Mm-hmm.
because my mother was like, I need X amount of dollars a month, but I
Mm-hmm.
grew up with my mom, and when it was just she and I, and then when she had my brother, I saw my mother struggle. I saw my mother work jobs that she didn't want to work so she can make sure that she had something to provide for her child slash children. I heard my mother crying at night when she thought I was asleep because sometimes it's just overwhelming. So
Right.
one thing that I was determined to do when I got old enough to make some money, that I wanted to make sure that she wouldn't have to work so hard, she wouldn't struggle.
Mm.
But in that sentiment of why I was doing it, she was still my mom. She was still being a parent.
Right.
So
Hmm.
I was just looking for her to be like, "Oh, thank you so much. Like, oh, you're such a great daughter," which she did. But I felt like that's all I need to hear. I ain't want to hear, yeah, Huggy, you and went out every weekend and you ain't washed clothes, or you've been coming in and out, but you haven't done this. I still cooked dinner. I still did house chores. I did my lawn. Like, I have responsibilities. My brother
Right.
was little at the time. I cut our grass. I cut the hedges. So when they start growing crazy, what are you doing? Like, you better not head out of here another
Mm-hmm.
Saturday without making sure this yard's taken care of. That was just
Hmm.
my mom, flat footed, straight to the point. She ain't gonna talk to you a whole bunch. She's not gonna repeat herself. Um, and you subject to get either embarrassed when you hit the door or if she run up on you in the street.
Hmm.
So you
Hmm.
made sure you did what you needed to do, and I just started feeling like, why? I don't understand why I got to do this. I'm already paying this and I'm already doing that. Why I got to do it? So
Yeah.
it's a lack of communication,
Mhm.
effective communication. And I think setting boundaries and expectations. I think that was really what it was between us, because my mom was very strict when I was younger, and she was very protective. Some
Mhm.
people would even say overprotective. And so it was kind of hard to make that adjustment that you can't be hands on when they 20 plus years old.
Mm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I can say I think she just wanted me home.
She was lonely.
She was lonely. So Hagi, here go a question for you, since you're responding like that, as far as you think she just wanted you home. Do you think that, do you think because of that, that really shows in the type of, because Mahogany and her mom has an amazing relationship. Sometimes I even forget they're mother and daughter, because her mom's so cool, just vibrant spirit, energy, and everything. But I think, and they're strong together. I mean, it seems like they just have that relationship with each other. So how do you think that kind of like added to the relationship that y'all had? I'm gonna throw that question out there to you. You can, chime in real quick and I'll post. Oh, Dennis, what's going on, man? Dennis.
412.
It's a bar.
Yeah. He said, I didn't like being the experimental older sibling. I couldn't go to by myself until the 8th grade, or they were constant until the 9th. My younger brother was doing all those things in the 6th grade. I sympathize with you,
Mm-hmm.
Dennis.
Mm-hmm.
When you're the oldest,
Yeah.
Man, you got them in tow with you sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Go to a football game.
Yeah, like he said, that's a child that gets experimented on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's kind of deep right there. Hey,
I
money.
wish we could have two siblings to chime in, because I don't care how many years apart you are, one kid has a totally different parent once that other kid is born.
Oh yeah, no
Yeah,
doubt. And their perception is so much different.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. You're right about that.
Like I said, we've always been close, but we've gotten even closer the older I've gotten. Makes you appreciate those times at home, though, boy. I'm gonna tell you.
It do.
Yeah.
It does.
Oh my goodness.
No doubt.
Yeah, for sure.
No doubt.
Hey, money.
Yes, sir.
You brought it up. I know you got some.
Man, shoot. I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna start off with the one that everybody can sympathize with: the time-honored complaint of our youth being in before the street lights came on.
Ooh, yeah.
Robert just said it himself. When the doors lock, you better be in or want to get in.
I'm gonna tell you, Mr. Connor.
Yes.
Robert, salute.
Yeah.
I have a mark on my knee right now, Mr. Connor, because I had to climb through the window.
Oh.
Ooh.
I had to sneak in.
Oh
Wow.
Luther Vandross.
Yeah.
I want to sneak out. Oh man.
Yeah, those was some. I used to hate that. That's when the fun was starting to begin.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Bridget.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
But share, Bridget. I know you got some too.
Oh yeah. You guys share. When we come to the table, we share. So, but yeah, the streetlight thing I think is funny. I remember having a dialogue with my parents. I know it had gotten to the point. This is back in the day when we used to have to push button phones. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you got the long cord that can go from the kitchen to the bedroom, and you can close the door and all that stuff. So that would be very helpful, because when the phone rings and your mom trying to answer and stuff, she don't have to go all the way in there and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So my mom had gotten to the point where she used to tell people, it's Friday and it's after 7:00. Kay won't be home until Sunday around 6:00. If you need him, hit him on his pager. Because the streetlight thing, I was like, that got to the point which I won't let the sun hit me, I ain't gonna let the street light hit me either. So, see you Sunday.
I think it was for me. It was a different thing. So in the summertime,
Mhm.
we could still be outside, but when it got dark and the street light was on, we had to play in the front of the house.
Mm.
So
Okay.
that was like a compromise because it was the summer.
True.
But
Yeah.
you know, you wasn't just gonna be out roaming the streets
Mm-mm.
when it got dark. No, that wasn't happening. So
That ain't
yeah.
happened until about 19.
Mm-hmm.
I think the
19.
first, how old was that? I think the first time I was out, like just out roaming, I think I might have been like 17 or 18. I was
What?
like 17 or 18.
Oh, you thought you
Yeah.
were wrong, didn't you?
She said
Yeah.
roaming. She didn't say
She said
just
roaming.
yeah.
She didn't say out. She said
Roaming.
roaming.
Matter
Roaming.
of fact, I know. I was 18 years old. I can tell you it was 18 plus
Oh,
because I graduated in 18. So yeah, I had graduated, and that's when I could do it.
Robert said, party all night Saturday, but you going to church Sunday morning.
Oh yes.
That's a
Yes,
good
sir.
one.
Yes, sir.
That's a good one.
Yes,
Oh,
y'all.
Robert.
Yes, sir.
So
And
y'all
play
know
that.
it. Y'all know I'm a PK kid. Y'all know my mom was an evangelist. I don't want no
Mhm,
jokes. I don't
mhm.
want to hear nothing. Anybody watching, I don't want to hear
That's
it.
right.
But
Hear you.
anyway, so it was clubbing, after hours joint. I'm back home. I'm coming home maybe 5,
Mm.
6,
Mhm.
and I was still up, ready to go to church.
Mm.
Don't y'all wish we still had that stamina today?
All I needed was 3 hours, 4 hours. I was good.
Whew.
Man.
Not now.
Not now.
Mm-mm.
Go to bed when the street light come on.
That's it.
Sometimes I beat the light. That's why I got the blackout curtains.
Yeah. My goodness. Can't even do that no more, boy. 3
Yeah,
hours.
y'all ain't lying about that.
Hey, and then on top of it, want you to come sit up in the front.
Oh,
No,
gosh.
I'm good back here. I'm going back here.
Y'all know what used to get me? And it would never fail. It would be a night where I've partied. I've never been like a big drinker, big smoker. Like, if I had it, I had it. If I didn't, I didn't. But it'll be the Saturday night that I decided to indulge in some libations pretty heavy.
Mhm.
And we in church that Sunday, and the pastor say, Melissa, you come up here and give us a selection. Really?
Yeah.
My
Oh,
throat
wow.
is not. I ain't had enough water. Are you kidding me? So trying to
Mhm.
not have the waves come. It was a lot of. I do sound like the biggest hypocrite going to church hungover and singing to the Lord, but I'm just being honest.
Or even worse, you got visit a pastor and stuff like that, and they gonna make it a long service, boy.
Oh,
You got
gosh.
visiting pastor. They want everybody to come up and sing. We're gonna have food afterwards as well. Knowing you like, I just want to get home.
That's
I
it.
go to the car.
That's
I
it.
go to the car, and I think Mama used to be on purpose. Used to be like, she gonna stay. I'm going to get in the car, or I would tell her, "All right, Ma, I see you at the house. Like I went to morning service. I'm good. I'm not staying. I'm out."
Look what Mahogany done dropped this jewel in there. When we were 13 and 14, all the kids in our neighborhood would walk to the movies together at night and all come back together. It wasn't that far though.
Okay.
Ooh, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, Money.
Yes, sir.
Try them all.
Boy, that was a spot. I
Oh,
used to make that trek walking all the time.
yes, all the way to try them all.
Yes.
Be hanging around up there and stuff. And then
That was a meetup spot.
That was the
So
spot right there, man.
what's Try On Mall now, guys?
It's
Is there anything there now?
that
Little to
really.
nothing.
Little nothing. It's just a shell of a place. They had converted it to a strip club, then a regular club, and then tried to do the movie thing again. Now it's just sitting there all beat up and dilapidated. It's
Mhm.
it's been through. But that was the spot though.
Most certainly was. Check.
Robert silly. Robert, you not lying, my brother.
That is the truth.
That is the truth, boy.
I think I can probably stay up. I don't think I could stay up and be out and in a club or like a party setting. I don't know if
Hmm.
I can do 2 or 3 o'clock anymore. I'm gonna be honest.
It's tough. It's
I
tough.
do it, but it'd be rough the next day. It'd be one of them days like, hey, feel like doing anything? I just want to chill. I'm like,
No, I'm
okay,
not even
I'm
talking.
going out.
Don't even. I'm not even talking.
Boy, we ain't doing jack.
Uh-uh.
Oh, Hoggy. Listen to Hoggy. Youngster. She's out go clubbing and come home and get ready for it. No sleep. No way I could do that now.
Ooh, the bad woman.
Who remembers skate palettes?
Hoggy, you don't know nothing about no skate pals. You don't know nothing about skate pals? Well, skate pals used to be the joint. Skate palace was what? Sunday? Yeah, Sunday. Skate palace was hopping on Sundays. And oh, here's the rundown. This is how when you know you're old. Okay, so you've got Thursday nights, and Adrian, I'm testing you now because you got to see if you remember this place. Kings and Queens.
No.
Oh man. Okay, so I'm telling on myself now. Okay, so Kings and Queens Thursday night. Friday night, you had your choice in which you would either go to Plum Crazy or Side Effects, or what was the other place over there right behind Tryon Mall. Remember the other club behind Tryon Mall? Oh, what was the
I
name
can't
of that
think of the
club?
name of it. I know what you're talking about.
Yep. And then Saturday, of course, you had the same thing that was going on. Oh, and Excelsior on Thursday nights as well. You know, 30 Thursday.
Yep.
And then on Sunday was Kings and Queens again, or you go out to Skate Palace. So it's like you got
a schedule. You listen to schedule over there.
Right.
That was it. That was the schedule. 4 days.
Yeah.
Non-stop, constantly running.
Mm-mm.
It was hard out here. It was hard out here.
Mr. Bratton.
Skip, what's going on? Yeah, you're right. Yep, the laundromat is still there, bro.
Mhm.
You're right. It is still open. I had a girlfriend there whose mom used to actually manage it.
Oh,
back in
really?
the day. Yeah, she's a real good friend now.
We know
but yeah.
who ain't had to pay his quarters.
Yeah.
Oh, now if we want to tell on ourselves for real, here's how good it was. Because the laundromat was right there. You can get your dry cleaning and stuff done there. I worked at Tryon Mall and Queens Park.
Oh.
I was the games room manager for both of them. And I had a friend that used to work down the street at the Hardee's. So we would get free food at Hardee's, free movies.
Mm.
And used to be able to get into the club. What's the name of that club back there? Was it? It's not.
It was directly behind the mall.
It was behind the mall because People's used to be in the front.
Mm-hmm.
So right behind it used to be, I can't remember the name of the club, but we used to be able to get in there free as well because I think Voodoo used to work there a lot of times, and I used to be able to carry the records and stuff up in there.
Did you say Voodoo?
DJ Voodoo, yeah.
Oh.
DJ Voodoo, yep.
Right. Yeah,
So
the best of
family,
both worlds.
I didn't grow up in Charlotte, so I'm listening and enjoying these stories on these places. I hate that they don't exist anymore.
Yeah, the young people, they don't even know the trials and tribulations we went through while living under our parents' house to have fun.
To have fun. And Skip brought up laundry. I still hate doing laundry. I hate doing laundry.
See, Hoggy said it herself. She said, my mom and aunt used to do K&Q, Side Effects, and Excelsior. That's why we family, sis. Probably ran into each other and stuff and didn't even know that we'd be the closely knit family that we are right now.
That you are
Those used to be
today.
good times. Great times, great times. Oh my goodness. But I got one for you guys.
What's up?
While you're living under your parents' house, and one of the things that you kind of dislike while staying there, who remembers when you used to try to stay up late, had a TV on? Because you remember back in the day, HBO used to be a privilege.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Not the way it is now. So you trying to stay up to check out the latest movie and stuff on HBO, and you hear somebody booming from the, bro, cut that TV off. Burn up my electricity. Gosh.
Boy, if I had a nickel for every time I heard that.
Forget that. How about having one TV?
Oh, yeah. That's the thing. The one TV.
You had one TV. Like you
One
didn't have a
TV.
TV in every room. You
No.
had one TV.
True that.
And that TV was sitting on top of the old wood TV. You know, you gotta have that big old wood TV.
No doubt.
You got
You
TV
gotta-
on top of the TV.
Yeah.
Floor model TV.
Yeah.
They ain't never got rid of that TV.
Yeah, you recycle it. That's your new
Yeah.
TV stand right there.
Heavy.
Exactly.
9 times out
Exactly.
of 10, there wasn't nobody there to help them move that TV once they got there.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, I mean, speaking of TVs though, you got me thinking. Before they were remotes, who were the remote? I used to hate it. Fix that antenna while you're up too.
Yeah. Go.
Stay
You
right
saw
there.
you did. Stay right there. Go get some more foil.
I got something. I'm gonna throw a twist to this question, to the discussion.
All right.
You know, it's great to reminisce about being a child. But what about if you're an adult, whether your parents stay with you or you staying with your parents, whether it's something that's full time or temporary? Like, do you find yourself still feeling like that kid, you know, in your parents' house? Because there's some things that just don't change.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that is.
Hoggy said, I had to throw this in there real quick. Hoggy's like, what about when you used to be on the phone with your guy friend or girlfriend and your mom picks up the other phone and says, time for you to go to bed?
Oh, I hate that. That might be the top one right there.
Ooh, yeah. That's a good one right there, Hoggy.
Just picking your face up all off the ground off of that. Like, and then you be mumbling under your breath like, damn.
I spent all this time making this smooth mixtape from WGIV.
I'm playing in the background.
On my boom box, I'm playing in the background trying to Mac. And you gonna get on the phone talking about, you still on this phone, bro?
Because you know they picked the phone up and hung it up. So you know right then that was your cue.
That was the test one. That's the first one.
That was your warning. That was your warning that you need to get out the phone.
Yeah. And the second time they do, you hear them kind of mumbling in the background, talking to your daddy, talking about, oh, still on that phone. You better get off that phone. I know, I already know that one.
Margaret said, you pay this bill? Hang it up. Margaret didn't care. Margaret said, you pay this bill? Hang it up.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Ooh.
But Mel, yeah, responding to what you said as far as the with the parents, like you're older now and stuff. I ain't gonna lie, I still, when I go into my parents' house this day, I still feel that level of respect and being timid, kind of sort of. It's like certain things, you know, you feel kind of weird about doing, you know, going in, you know, just, you know, it's kind of, you know, you like, I grew up in here, you know, or like this. Dang, I lived in this little house.
Right.
But your parents made it a home. That's how it is. Yeah.
Right. And there's a lot of people with a lot of house, but it's not a home.
Into that.
True that.
Dennis, man, that's deep. He said, when I was living in Charlotte and went to visit the 412, sleeping in my old bedroom was a weird feeling, and I would still get asked where I was going. And it never changes, man.
It never goes away.
It never goes away. And I am still that way. Y'all know I frequent Pittsburgh because of my parents still living there, my father, my stepmother, and so when I'm there, I stay with them. And you know, my dad's the first one, like, why don't you go out with your friends? You sitting up in here with us. And then as soon as I'm in the room getting dressed, whatever, where you gonna go? Out. Oh, well, you got your key? I'm like, yeah. Well, what time you coming back? I said, Dad, I don't know, but I mean, do I need to be back? And he's like, no, enjoy yourself, but just don't make it late. Wait a minute, hold up. I am 40 plus years old, Daddy. What are you talking about? So I think it's just instinctive to be like, you know, where you going? Come when you coming back? and he'll have an attitude like the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I may say, like, with my cousins, we up late, so I might just stay. I better call that
Yeah.
morning and say, "Yo, Dad, I'm not there. I'm down down Kim's, or I'm down Joyce's, or I'm at my best friend. I'm at Purity's, and I just stayed. I'll be home, later."
Mm-hmm.
I better call because he's gonna have an attitude.
Hmm.
I know that's right.
Yeah, you
At
understand it
40
now that
plus,
you're older. You
yeah, at
certainly
40
understand it
plus,
now.
it's the
Mm-hmm.
issue. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, buddy. And even to this day, I even do that with my kids, because they're here, and doing stuff, and I had to have a talk with them, because they're grown men, and I was just
right,
like, yo, it's just one of those things as a parent. I said, you'll see when you become a parent. It's
right,
just one of the things we worry about you no matter what. And then it made me
right.
think, dang, that's what mom and them was talking about,
Mm-hmm.
when they were, am I becoming my parents now?
Yep, you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep,
pretty
yep.
much. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mommy used to say all the time that when they're little, they're on your feet, and when they become grown, they're on your heart.
Yeah.
Boy, I was waiting on one of them
Man,
nuggets. I was waiting on one of them
I
nuggets.
missed it. I missed it so much, and she just blessed us with it. Thank you.
There you go.
She got them. She be dropping
Yep.
them like that. Pow, take this
Mhm.
jewel. Yeah.
There you go.
What's going on, Terry? How you doing? Thank you,
Hey,
baby, for
Terry.
joining us. Go ahead and chime in, because the topic of discussion tonight is, what were the things you disliked when staying under your parents' roof? We all gone through it.
Mm-hmm.
We all have lived it. We got some stories to tell. Go ahead and
Yeah.
share.
I got another one, and
Go
this
ahead, A-Money.
this used to bring terror to my heart. Just with this one phrase that my mom would say, "I'm gonna let your daddy handle it when he gets
Oh
home."
man, God,
Oh
man.
Lord.
He be like, why can't we just go ahead and end this here? Can't we all just get
Lord.
along?
You talk about a young kid having high blood pressure off a statement like that.
Hey, I don't know about you, but when I hear those words,
Oh,
and you be like, you just sitting on the bed, and you're like, I don't even want to move. I'm just gonna stay right here. I'm gonna close. Matter of fact, I'm gonna close the door,
yes.
and then I'm gonna sneak and act like I'm going to bed.
There you go.
But then Mama come in. You better come in here and eat.
I ain't hungry.
I ain't
I
hungry.
ain't hungry. No, you gonna come in here and eat this right here before your daddy get home. You gonna eat this right here. He like, God.
I think the equivalent for that for me with my, growing up in a single parent home is my mom being quiet.
Mm.
Mm.
If she's silent and
Mhm.
she go ahead and she say, all right, just go on. I ain't got nothing to say right now. Just go on.
Mhm.
Whoa, that was
That's-
heavy for me because my mother was a queen at stringing stuff together. She would say what you would wish she would curse you out, because the adjectives that she would string together and fuss, you'd be like feeling so little, like, oh my
Yeah.
goodness. And when she was just quiet,
Mhm.
Oh,
yeah, that was equivalent to just terror all night. You even go to
Yeah.
sleep, you catch yourself like, okay, where's she at? Where's she at?
That hear something?
Yeah.
Was that my door now?
Hey, and the funny thing is, that's what they do. It's like
Mhm.
psychological warfare. They're like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, okay, I'm not gonna get you today. Give
Mhm.
me about 3 days, 12 hours, and 14 minutes.
That's
I'm gonna
it.
surprise
That's it.
you. Booyah.
I remember my mom saying to me one time, she said, I'm gonna put you on punishment. She said, you deserved a whooping. She said, but if I would have whooped you, I would have killed you. I was like, what? Wait a minute, what? Okay.
Mhm.
Were
Hey.
you that angry? Yeah. I was. She told me. She looked at me. Mama wasn't a tall woman, but she was like, yeah. If I would have put my hands on you, it was gonna be an issue, and that scared the life out of me because I said she never said that to me before.
Mhm. Looking out for your welfare that evening.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. So Terry said, my feelings and opinions didn't matter because I was a quote unquote child, even after I turned 18.
So
Yeah,
she said
bro.
not having the one prior to that said not having a voice.
Mhm. I also didn't like cooking. I'm a gifted cook, and they took advantage of that. They expected me to cook 5-star meals and that were plated elegantly.
Mm.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow.
I feel you. But look at you now, though. See, a lot of times, you know, and it's funny because I know when I talk to my wife about it, it's like a lot of stuff that we went through with our parents and the rules or the things. And a lot of times we didn't understand it. But then when we look at where we are right now, like my wife has an amazing work ethic. Like she goes to work, she puts it down, like physical, she puts it down. One of my boys was telling me, like, your wife got guns. I was like, yeah, and they hurt too. And, you know, it's like she can do that and then come home and do additional work with her business and stuff like that. And like I was telling her, I said, that's that work ethic that your parents put in you. You know, a lot of times you didn't understand the rules and you didn't understand why this is so structured or why you got to do this. But I'm like, it made you to who you are right now. So, you know, we as older folk now, when we look at it, we're like, or we should say, they couldn't make these and that stuff. I mean, see how we look. Ooh, well.
Sounds like they had more expectations for you versus your sibling.
Yes. Yep. That's what it sounds like. Uh-oh. Booyah. Charlotte too.
I'm back at mom's and need to
leave again. Charlie, what's up? Yeah, I feel good to have
it's
you
amazing
on,
to see that dynamic of being the adult child in the home of your parents. And I have a friend who mom was, you know, starting to get older and she didn't want to sell her house. And the daughter was like, okay, well, mom, you know, I'll come and live with you, because she was trying to buy a house. And so nice house, nice home. So she said, you know, we'll just kind of make some moderations to it and, you know, we'll modify it to accommodate us being in it together. And she says, like, her mom comes in the house at night, all the lights on. Turns on all the lights. And she's like, well, you don't have to turn the lights on where I'm at. You could just turn the lights on where you are. And her mother always tell her, it's my house. I want all my lights on so I know where I'm going and I can see where I'm at. I said, oh my goodness. And so she's just like, there's things regardless, you know, she's like, I'm thinking, oh, she used to do that when she was here by herself. You know, now I'm here, she wouldn't have to do it. But she's like, yeah, she still does it. And she fusses at her when she turns the lights out. So, you know, again, that little war was like, I'm just going to show her she don't need that on. But guess what? The lights stay on, because what's the point of the fight?
Yeah,
true that.
Good point. Definitely good point. Rob said, everything my parents showed me in life, I'm blessed to be able to be the person I am today.
Amen.
No doubt.
Amen.
Amen.
And shout out to Margaret and James. Even though I grew up with my mom, you know, my dad and I established a relationship after moving back to Pittsburgh and getting older, and still have an amazing one now. And shout out to the village, because this was during a time where my mom's rules were respected, whether I was home or not, whether she was around or not. So I had to toe the line regardless to where I was, you know what I mean? And so it definitely makes me and have made me into the woman that I am.
Yeah. With that tribe, there's no escaping your parents' rules. You got a good tribe.
This my brother.
That's a good one. I like that. Read that one, sis. I like the way you said that.
I took the unorthodox approach to my voice being heard, or my point of view being listened to, the voice or the belt. So my brother always tried my mom. And I just told y'all, I gave y'all a brief of how Margaret was, okay? And my brother was determined that he was going to do what he wanted to do. She tell him to go left and pick something up, he go right and sit down. I mean, it was just like, I'm going to do what I want to do. And it was just amazing to me, even though she would get with him, but I'm like, he's able to do that? He said, what? Like, are you kidding me? Me, I would have been like, gasping for air or like seeing stars because she would have knocked me out. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, again, my brother and I are 12 years apart, so he had a different mom than I did at 12. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Charles said I left at 14 years old the first time, didn't come back until I was 20s. And I left again, came back late 30s. Now I gave myself 2 years to be gone again. I hear you.
Mm.
Terry said they did, but the way they expressed their expectations caused me severe depression, among other things. I just didn't like the way that they were willing to change. They weren't willing to change in how they parent. Now my aunt is all new age and more open, and I really like that. Or I'm not, and I'm really like
Shaking
I like
my
really
head.
shaking my head. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
you
it
know what?
happens, Terry.
It do. It very much do. And here's the thing, because think about it. You know, when we were coming up, you know, let's just be real. When we were coming up, it was fire and brimstone. All right.
Yep.
You know, we went through the trials and tribulations, everything. But now, you know, if you look at our children's children, you know, I look at my grandbabies, and it's like they love on them and everything. I'm like, well, wait a minute, hold on. How they? What did you? It's not fair. You know, it's not fair. You know, but but you know, you got to think about they're getting older. They've kind of mellowed. You know, they're seasoned, but they're mellowed, and you know, they're looking at the time that they have right now, I guess, you know, trying to just enjoy their life. So that's kind of, I can sympathize with you.
Don't have the energy. We've already said that. I mean, even with our baby girl turning 18, you know, I sat down and told her, I said, I'm gonna be honest with you. You've been on autopilot, especially through the pandemic, and I appreciate you being who you are. Because I ain't got it. What do you need? How much it costs? How you getting there and where you coming back? That's like where I'm at. You know what I mean? Like when you're an engaged parent and you've been involved and you've been supportive and you've done all that, and they get to that point where they can kind of handle themselves, you're like, I'm good. Like I see you when you come home. Make sure you got your key. Like I mean, honestly, because you become exhausted if you keep trying to be so hands on, you know. And my mom changed when my daughters were born. They were blessed to have her for 10 years and 8 years of their lives, and she was like they could do no wrong, nothing at all, you know. Where I'm like, if that was me, where's this understanding? Where's this trying to talk to me to figure out why I'm not in a good mood? Where was that at when I was little? Like,
When you do it, like you better go on there and fix your face. Now it's like, oh, baby, okay. What's up? Talk to me.
She's not woke up yet. What? It's 10 o'clock. How much longer does she need?
Exactly. And Terry, you're right. It did make you the mom. That's why I was saying a lot that we've gone through, sometimes whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, it can mold us. And it's up to us to take certain things out of it to be the people and the parents that we are today. So yeah, very true. I mean, I love the way she interacts with my grandkids. I mean, them two right there, boy. Oh my goodness. They are. And it's because of how their mom and daddy raised them. And I definitely appreciate that. But I want to share this with you guys. Boy said this, you know what? Yeah, y'all related. He said it works some way because my mom finally said she had to learn how to raise a man. He got an old soul in him.
He does. Yeah. Ever since he got here, trust me.
Skip said, even though my parents not here, I still live like they're here.
Salute.
No doubt. No doubt.
It's a testament to them, man.
They're good people.
We were taught to love but fear our parents. Heck yeah. Bro, let me tell you something. When I got older, after I graduated from high school, I just knew I was the bomb. I still have a picture of me sitting next to my dad with my graduation cap on. It was the day afterwards. I came in after the graduation party. I came in and I had the hat on. I got my t-shirt on. and got on my drawers and stuff. They're talking about like this right here next to my dad and stuff. I still fear that man to this day and respect him. I'm bigger than him, and he's gone through a lot, but I still fear and respect him because of what he instilled in me and the sacrifices that he made. You know, even to this day. And you know, I remember having a discussion with my dad one time, and you know, he was like, he got on me about coming in late. So after that, I was just like, okay, street light ain't gonna hit me, sunlight ain't gonna hit me. So I didn't, you know, I wouldn't come home. And I remember vividly when he would get up in the morning and go to work. This man would get up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I would watch him do this for well over 30 years. And he would go and he would put his shoes on and he would go to the kitchen and he'd make his cup of ice and he'd get his lunch together and everything. And he would go to work, and he wouldn't come home from work till about 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He did that 6 days a week. He was a baker. He baked bread. So I'm looking at dusty shoes, crust on them, everything like that, you know, from working in the bakery and everything like that. He did that for 6 days a week for over 30 plus years until they forced him to retire due to his health. And while I remember not wanting to be there because I was grown, I think some of it also was not seeing him go through all that. So I made it a point. I was like, I'm gonna do something with myself, and I got to do something, and I'm gonna be there for my parents afterwards because of what they did. But it's amazing when we're younger and we don't understand really what our parents sacrificed to put us where we are. And now we look at it and we like me and him, like I love going over there and we just chit chat about the kids and stuff. He's amazing to me. And I still have that love and respect for him.
It is. That's it. And I think we as kids and as parents, you know, I don't feel that it's a bad thing to let your children know what you're willing to give them and to do for them. Some people may say, well, your kids don't need to know that you had to get a part-time job. I think you can let your kids know, hey, I was willing to do this. I'll never forget one Christmas. I don't know, TJ, you remember this or not. My dad did have a car, and my father lives at a time where me and my brother and my mom lived. My dad lived probably about 8 miles, 9 miles from us, but it's a Pittsburgh 8 miles. So there may be 2, 3 hills involved, you know, depending on how to get there. And he didn't have a car, and he had to go to work. He worked at the hospital, and his shift at the hospital was 6 to 3. And I will never forget, for whatever reason, we wound up being up, or me and my mom wound up being up, and my brother was, you know, asleep. And he had called my mom and said he was bringing down our Christmas gifts. You ain't think nothing of it. You bringing down Christmas gifts. Okay, fine. And my dad walked from his house to ours. So there's a knock on the door. It's like right at 6. My dad had to be to work at 6:30. He walked so he could be at our house by 6, and then he could catch the bus to work. But it was important for him to make sure that not so much me, but my brother's gifts was there when he woke up on Christmas. And I will never forget that, because that's a testament to the type of man that he is. And so, you know, for me, we get weary as parents. You know, we don't always have the energy. We don't even always have the want to. You know, be honest, I'll speak it out loud. Like, you don't always have the want to in you to do certain things, but you say, I can't let them down, you know?
That's right.
And that's a story that when I am weary, when, you know, as we used to say in church, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is killing. You just really be on some stuff like, I don't feel like being a mom today. Like, I don't feel like doing it. You can't give up. You gotta still do what you need to do. And I'm like, my dad walked to make sure that our gifts was there. And it's December. It's Pittsburgh. Come on now, you know how cold it was.
Yes.
That I will never forget that. I'll never ever forget that. And that I use that for my motivation when I had those moments, or have those moments, even with my adult children right now, to say, you know what? can't just throw my hands up. I got to still keep going.
I know that's right. Dang, she be dropping jewels every time. God. Ooh.
Yeah.
So Terry said, Callie is super vocal about everything. And I'm like, I'm still your mom. I'm glad she tells me everything because I hope it stays that way. Wishful thinking.
It will.
It will. Yeah. If they talk to you now like that, as long as you don't do anything to break that connection, they will always talk to you.
Yes,
like
it will,
that.
Terry. 20 and 18, my daughters talk to me. Sometimes they talk to me about things that I don't want to know.
Yeah.
But we have a conversation. And we have a huge, I think we have a great communication with each other. Charlie said, I've got go. She said she gotta go. She gotta go.
CJ is always like, my dad wouldn't let me do that or say that, so my kids can't. Yeah, that's true. And that's interesting. I'm glad he kind of mentioned that because, you know, and that's something that I kind of wanted to bring up that I don't know if anybody can. Well, yeah, like with our family, we're a blended family. So there's, you know, there's a lot of things that, and I was just talking to Renee about that, but there's certain things that my house is my house. Or our house is our house. So there's certain rules and stuff. And it's different than, you know, where he grew up at, you know, with his mom and stuff. And I was always open with him in regards to that. And I think that's very important because, you know, by laying down that foundation, now he in turn sees that. You know, he sees, you know, okay, this is the reason why dad said these certain things. Like with us, I remember having a talk with his mom one time. And she said she could never get him up on Sundays to go to church. I don't know about you, but in my house, you know, when I would go to the rooms, you know, I'm hitting each of the boys' rooms and stuff. I'm like, yo, y'all about ready? You know, and they be like, okay, we're getting ready and stuff. And CJ would be up, he getting his clothes out of his bag and stuff. He getting everything together. I'm like, yo, you need me to knock that wrinkle out that shirt? They bring it in, you know, I'm ironing shirts. I'm like, yo, we hitting church, you know, we gonna be there, you know, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, she's like, she didn't understand it. I'm like, I hoped and prayed that what I did with him would be that way. So now he does that very same thing. And I think it's very important, you know, what we went through, we have to kind of like share that openly with our kids as they're grown right now. Because that's going to give them the foundation as well. They're going to see and the light's going to cut on.
Yep. True. And it hits you when you're a parent. It hits you when you become a parent. Because I know there's things that I pulled from not only my household and being in the two, you know, being where going to my dad when he remarried and how she handled her kids to, you know, it was just things that I knew how I wanted to be with my kids once I decided to have children. So.
Terry, thank you for sharing that. That's amazing. Again, and it's kind of like what Melissa was saying as far as the sacrifices that you make as a parent for your kids. Oh yeah. Yeah. CJ has that was another thing too. Yeah, last week CJ had surgery on his neck. So that is something which we were dealing with. So hopefully he is rested up and ready to get back into the swing of things. My trip home to Charlotte was too fast. I almost cried pulling in the driveway. I waited until I got in the shower.
Yeah, Charlie, when you come to Charlotte, you know, you busy. You handling business. You got to come to Charlotte just to come to Charlotte for a visit. And that way we can all get together and hang out with you. Now that might be a 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning visit when Charlie comes. For
Some
sure.
people I'm in there tell me what happened. Charlie's here. So money. Man, you got to share with us now because there's one thing I know that you've talked to the boys about as they've been living under your roof, as far as you know, certain things maybe they I guess how you know, we old school. Let's just be real. We old school from the G, you know, you know. But I'm sure they've shared with you because you got 2 grown men in your house and stuff like that. What if they share with you as far as, you know?
Kind of somewhat like how Melissa was talking about. We have a real open relationship, and I am so thankful that both of them can come to me and talk to me without any hesitation or any fear. It's some things like Melissa's noted that you know I'm still trying to get comfortable with, but I'd rather it come from me and to hear it from me
Mhm.
than someone else. Um, I mean, it's a abundance of everything that we had questions about when we were growing up, but I, it's not any different than how we grew up to what they're actually asking or coming to me and my wife about right now. Um, Jeez, it's outside of school and it's different topics, as far as school and how people act and being more cautious around individuals. Now, some things are just new to us. So when we talk about gun violence in school, it's
Mhm.
concerns with that. And, I try to enlighten them as much as I can. Just monitor your surroundings. Those are probably some of the more major issues that I touch on with them or that they have questions about now that it's a little different in how we grew up and
Mhm.
trying to, you know, guide them through those particular situations now. But for the most part, it's pretty much everything that we grew up with and had those same questions about. Outside of me almost taking off my shoe and making them go out and cut the grass, though. But that's a whole nother, a whole nother story right there.
Man,
How about
gotta
on
love
y'all, both of y'all in?
it.
Oof.
Yeah.
Well, I have girls, so from relationship advice to self-image, they're teaching me how to be politically correct in what I say.
Mhm.
They gave me a school crash course lesson on um, the sexism in the world and the respectful, way to talk about the freedom of sex and the freedom of identifying to what gender and things of those that nature. So that was an interesting conversation.
Mm.
Um, and then just being of 2021 kids, like, what I mean,
Mhm.
adults from 2020, 2021, and the pandemic, and the technology era and the social media era, and you know the comparison sometimes to what their friends and how their households are versus here, where I don't care how much and how much technology come around, I still teach you how to use your brain, use your head, pencil, paper, because everything doesn't have those things don't have a battery. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's really like all of us in a nutshell. We joke, we laugh. They're just as crazy as I am,
Mhm.
just as witty. So
Mhm.
sometimes they get the best of me, and I have to just bow down and say, you know what, I hate you. You get on my nerves. So yeah.
CD?
Oh man. I gotta share this. This is funny. Terry said, I'm just ready to be a grandparent, not to have to deal with kids when I don't want to. You got a little bit of time,
Just a
baby.
little bit.
You
You got a
better look.
little
You
bit
better
of
stop
time.
having them buns in the oven, honey. You
Mhm.
you you baking buns. You ain't gonna never be a grandparent.
Yeah. You got one more to go. But I don't know. I think it's interesting because one of the things I relish is the relationship I have with my sons a lot of time, and it's one of those things in which I can openly talk to them. Me and my wife, we both openly talk to them because they're grown right now. You know what? How can I? I'm gonna go to the youngest one, put him on timeout. No, we're gonna talk about it. It's like go to the corner. No, we're not gonna do that. But we are gonna have a talk, and I'm gonna share with you my thoughts and feelings, and then you're gonna share with me yours, and then we're gonna see what goes on. And
Mhm.
one of the things I've always I do with them and have done with them is explain to them that there's two paths, the right or the left. You choose the path, but whatever path you choose, you deal with the ramifications from it thereof. And I tell them I'm not trying to be hard and funny with you about it, but it's the same thing that your granddaddy did with me. you know. So I love it when we can just sit down and we talk and we, you know, we just dialogue and we vibe off each other. I'm very open with them on stupid stuff that I did back in the day. And you know, also things that I know that they're about to go through. It's a very open dialogue.
Yep.
And I think, you know, a lot of times, like Melissa said it so vividly earlier, you know, a lot of times, you know, you got the hands-on approach. And I think a lot of times too, when you put too much hands on them, you actually are pushing them away at the same time. You know, so sometimes it's best to have that open dialogue and talk to them and just give them your point of view and then give them reasons behind it and examples, life experiences. And then what happens is maybe it'll give them that aha moment so they won't make the wrong decision. Are we always going to agree on stuff? No, there's stuff that, you know, I question them a lot about. And I'm like, why in the world did you do that? You know, my mom thinking that's stupid. But then at the same time, I'm like, but they're becoming their own person and their own adult. So I have to still love on them still. If it gets bumpy, if it hurts, love on them and comfort them.
Yep.
And then hopefully they learn from that as well. So it's one of those things. And I've been blessed because now I got a daughter as well. So it's the same thing with her. I love when we talk, you know, because I hopefully I'm able to share stuff with her. Renee's able to share stuff with her and know that when we share these things or we say things to them, we don't do it to be vindictive or mean. We do it out of love because that's what we're supposed to do as parents. Love them. So
True.
that's how I do. Oh, look at her. Stop it. Just stop. But yeah, you know what? Hey, Money, I can honestly say, man, this is a dope topic.
Oh, well, I'm glad
You did it
I
again.
like it.
Yep.
I can't take the credit for that one. I heard it somewhere else, but appreciate it anyway.
You brought it to the table, though.
You brought it to the table.
All
And
right.
you know, at the round table, we make it our own.
That's
True
right.
that. True
That's
that. True
That is
that.
right. So we coming up on that time, y'all, where you know we hate to go, but you know it's one of those things. But I don't know if y'all know this or not, family who is listening. We've been getting numbers. I mean, it's been amazing the amount of love and follow-ups that we've been getting from many people. But we want more. We greedy because we think that what we're bringing to the table is something amazing, something that everybody can enjoy. So we're just going to ask if y'all can share this particular show as well as the show that happened the week before and the week before that and stuff. Let's bring more people to the table and make this thing. Dare we say it national? Ooh, could we do that? Could we go national, y'all? Could we get some, you know, get it to the point which, you know, people are like, forget the Kardashians. We don't listen to that round table, you know, stuff like that.
I think we could do what we need to do, you know. The numbers have definitely increased. They have improved. There's more viewership. There's more sharing. We're being introduced to different platforms. And so I don't see why not. So we put it out there.
Put it into the atmosphere. Put it into the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Charlie 2 said good night. Charlie 2, is the street light on? I ain't gonna lie, I'm feeling a bit tired right now myself.
Yeah, I know. I'm tired.
Yes.
Oh, and I want to throw a shameless plug out there as well. Well, not really a shameless plug, but a challenge. Anybody who is a performer, an artist, business owner, whatever case may be, if you think you need to be on ATRT, we challenge you to join us on ATRT.
Come on. The door's always open.
The door is open. Will you come? Won't you come? Will you come?
Won't you come on in?
Yes.
Won't you come on in? I may have a conflict of interest because I just started something myself. So the world is opening up and you need to be able to get there. And I'm your girl. So once I get my website and my portal together, I'll be handling business and handling plans and making sure everybody get to where they get to safely and enjoy where they're going to be. So
All right.
All right. Well, stay tuned for that one.
Stay tuned, y'all. Y'all heard it first here at the Roundtable Podcast Show.
Yeah.
Well, family, once again, we thank y'all for joining us on At the Round Table. If you get a chance, join us next Wednesday, same bat time, same bat channel. You know, we're here 6 o'clock on Facebook, 6 o'clock YouTube as well. Stay tuned because we got a lot of shows that are going to be placed on the podcast channels that we're a part of, Spotify and the rest of them. It's just been a lot. There's a lot of editing and stuff that we have to do. But it's pretty cool. You can go back and listen to it and all the craziness that we're involved in the fans, the people, our followers, our family. They are the ones that really make up this show. So,
That's right. That's right. Absolutely.
And just to add one more thing too, CD, if you have any topic ideas, please don't hesitate to share them with us. If you can think of anything that you would like to talk about or hear us talk about, all of us talk about really, then please share, message us directly, and we'll put it into action. And as always, we certainly appreciate your continued support and your shares and you just being a part of the show, because it is the People's Podcast.
That's right.
Well, y'all heard it first. Appreciate you. This is CD.
A Money.
And your girl Pitbull.
All right. It's the People's Podcast Show, y'all. We love y'all and mean it.
Absolutely.